On this episode, we dive deeper into Cloudland Canyon to explore the depth of Sittons Gulch Trail. Last time we were here, we explored the Waterfalls Trail, and we enjoyed it so much that we wanted to come straight back to this epic Georgia canyon to explore one of its longer treks. So we parked at the state park's entrance and ventured down towards the bottom of the canyon. So we're here at the entrance of Sittons Gulch Trail. To get here, you have to go down the Waterfalls Trail, take a ride onto Hemlock Falls, and then you'll get here at the entrance of Sittons Gulch.
So at the bottom of the staircase, you're gonna see two separate trails that are gonna take you down to this waterfall.
Here we are at the first landmark, Zen Falls.
With two separate waterfalls within a gorge, scattered mossy boulders, and a nearby cave, Zen Falls is one of the most mystical areas we have found to date.
So our second landmark, directly across from Zen Falls, is Zen Cave.
So one thing you can see right here when you look at the side of the mountain or the rock here, the layering of the rocks, pretty cool.
You have to do some stone stepping over here to get to the cave. It's a little slippery. It's got like moss and things like that. So you can fall in the water, but it's worth it.
Look, there's like this huge crack that's right there.
Dude, I cannot believe I crashed the drone at full speed and it's fine.
Starting off was a bit rocky. I crashed the drone into a big rock. Mason slipped on a rock. I scraped my leg slipping down a rock, but at least I warned Malloy.
Malloy, don't slip, bro! After Zen Cave, we got Waterfall Staircase.
So Waterfall Staircase is hard to get down to, especially after it rained. It's extremely slippery. But it's kind of crazy how quickly we found three really cool landmarks. The Zen area is maybe 50 yards on the other side from the Waterfall Staircase. And we're only like 0.2 mile in. Further within the hike, you'll find many split-off paths that lead to almost landmarks.
I don't think it's a landmark.
But all of them are scenic and nice places to take a rest.
It's quite a beautiful rock.
I know. So
There are many fallen rocks on the outskirts of the trail and several split-off paths you can venture down. You may be surprised what you can find.
Randomly within the trail, Sittons Plateau.
Sittons Plateau, perfect place for the push-ups.
We're off to see the wizard, the wonderful Wizard of Oz.
hey! This looks cool, but that looks like the main trail. We don't know what to do, so we're just gonna go over here.
Because it looks 10 times cooler.
You make a right at that fork, you come over here, and it's probably the quietest part of the Sittons Creek. We're calling it Sitting Quietly Cove.
There's plenty of spots you can just kind of sit around. You kind of have an opening in the foliage where you can get some sun.
On top of that, it's also not a very populated area. Uh-oh, they're ditching me.
The trail is veering more towards the left, so you're getting farther away from the creek, it looks like. We also have some strange man following us in an orange shirt. Yo!
That's pretty cool.
After the trail starts to veer off of the creek, you've got this nice little seating area. And we encountered a new friend. It's a ladybug.
Bro, that is a real ladybug right there.
Hey, check it out. You can see up there. You can see the canyon right here.
Whoa. Look at that.
While the journey to the next landmark is long, it's still a very scenic stretch.
So much of this trail is so scenic at almost all times. There are so many almost landmarks. See, I think that's a landmark. Look at this big boulder.
Yeah, that's like one of the biggest ones.
Between the Waterfalls Trail and Sittons Gulch, I think I like Sittons Gulch more. It's more natural rather than a staircase. And all of the boulders within the creek kind of gives it a fantasy-like feel.
And there's so many of them.
So it looks like there's a little split off right here. So that little split off trail will take you down to this fantasy-like area called Boulder Cove. So it's a really interesting cove. I mean, first of all, there's this massive tree. Reminds me of Tuck Everlasting.
Like Malloy said, this area is very fantasy-like with the cove, the boulders, and the tree.
From Boulder Cove and on, the hike becomes very quiet as it separates from the river and starts looking more like a standard nature trail.
And I don't even think we're within the canyon anymore.
The beginning of Sittons Gulch had an elevation around 1280, and this area hovers around 855. As we approached the end, we realized that it was only another entrance to the trail.
So you can enter the Waterfalls Trail from two separate areas. You can go the Cloudland Canyon down into the canyon taking the steps, but you can completely avoid the steps going to the Sittons Gulch trailhead on the opposite side.
But the good thing about starting Sittons Gulch at the Waterfalls Trail is because you get to go through the Waterfalls Trail as well, and you get most of the cool landmarks up at the beginning. So this is an out and back trail, and we're on our way back. One of the most unique things about this trail, in my opinion, how the very first landmark were two waterfalls, and directly next to it was the cave.
It's definitely going to be more strenuous going up, I can tell you that. We found places to camp. Someone's camping right over there.
Yeah, something really unique about this trail that we've been on, the vast size of the boulders and rocks that we get to see. They seem to have all just fallen right down in the middle of the canyon. So when you're right by the creek, you get to see how kind of nature destroyed a mountain, and it looks amazing.
Overall, Sittons Gulch could be divided into two parts: an epic fantasy trek near the river within the canyon, and a peaceful nature trail. But our time at Cloudland Canyon isn't finished, for we have one final hike left. So we'll be back here soon enough to find what is hidden on West Rim Loop. Thank you so much for watching.